Good morning and welcome to the Senate Committee on Commerce and Labor. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Daley, here. Senator Ellison, here. Senator Flores, Senator Lang, here. Senator Rogish, here. Senator Scheibel, here. Senator Steinbeck, here. Chair Pazina.
Present. Thank you so much. We have 7 members present, but we should have 8 shortly, and please mark Senator Flores present when he arrives. With that, welcome to our members in Carson City, as well as anyone, although I don't see anyone in Las Vegas right now, but if someone sneaks in, we welcome you to our meeting, as well as those following along online. Before we begin, I'd like to make just a few housekeeping reminders. First, I'd like to remind everyone to please silence all of your electronic devices while in the committee room. Members of the public may provide testimony in various ways, all of which are listed on the agenda. You may also submit public comment in writing, either in addition to testifying or in the place of. If you wish to testify in person, please sign in at the table by the door and leave a business card with our committee secretary. When testifying in person, please turn the microphones on to speak and off to listen, as we have others listening in, maybe not in Vegas, however, following along online. And please also state and spell your name for the record. Anyone who'd like to receive electronic notifications of scheduled bills and access to the committee's meeting materials may do so by signing up on Nellis at the legislative website. Committee members will be using our laptops to view handouts today. Those will be work session documents and amendments and other exhibits, so please do not view this as a sign of disrespect or inattention. Today, we are work sessioning, and we are going to get started with our consent agenda this morning. And then we will wait for the arrival of our final committee member to move on, so we may need to take a brief recess. But for now, beginning our work session, I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Ashton, who will summarize the measures on our consent calendar.
Thank you, Chair Pazina. For the record, Patrick Ashton, Research Division LCB. As a nonpartisan member of the legislature, I can neither support nor oppose any measures before you today. Members, you should have received by email and have on your desk a copy of the combined work session document. Like the other 2 work sessions we had this week, this document contains 1 consent calendar for 4 bills without any proposed amendments. Additionally, the combined work session document has 7 bills that will be considered separately during the work session. As a reminder, the bills on the consent calendars do not have further discussion or debate. Any member may request that the item be removed from the consent for further discussion and a separate vote. The following measures are on the consent calendar. AB 183, which revises provisions relating to optometry. AB 248, which ratifies the Physical Therapy Licensure Compact. AB 334, which revises provisions relating to oral health. And AB 466, which revises certain notice requirements imposed on an insurer who issues a policy of portable electronics insurance. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ashton. Do we have any questions regarding the consent calendar process, or would anyone like to pull a bill from the consent calendar? Okay, not seeing anyone, I'll now entertain a motion to do pass for the bills on the consent calendar as summarized by Mr. Ashton.
Motion to do pass AB 183, 248, 334, 466 as outlined.
Thank you so much. We have a motion by our Vice Chair, a second from Senator Lang. Do we have any further discussion? Not seeing any further discussion, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Okay, wonderful. The motion carries, and we will do pass AB 183, AB 248, AB 334, and AB 466. And I will assign floor statements as follows. Do I have any volunteers for AB 183? Okay, not seeing any volunteers. I'm going to start on the other end of my other side this morning. We'll start with Senator Ellison, and he will be assigned the floor statement for AB 183. Senator Rogish will be assigned the floor statement for AB 248. Senator Daley for AB 334, and we will assign Senator Lang the floor statement for AB 466. And with that, we do need to take a brief recess while we await our committee member who has promised me he is on his way. Thank you. Brief recess. Again, everyone, apologies. We're just waiting on our member, and per the rules, unfortunately, but we do need to have all members in place for some of the bills we're voting on today. So as soon as we're able to start, we will. When you see Senator Flores, we'll gavel back in. We're going to gavel back in briefly because we can at least vote on a few more of these before we get our erstwhile committee all together again. With that said, we're going to take the next item on our work session, which is going to be Assembly Bill 207. And Mr. Ashton, when you're ready, we'll have you read that, and that is an amend do pass, just as a heads up to the committee.
For the record, Patrick Ashton, Research Division, LCB. Assembly Bill 207 was heard on May 14th. It requires the Commissioner of Insurance to annually prescribe and provide to certain health insurers or other organizations providing health coverage a data request or submit a report that solicits information necessary to evaluate the compliance of the insurer or organizations with provisions of the federal Paul Wellstone and Pete Dominici Mental Health Parity and Addiction Equity Act of 2008 in accordance with the Systems for Electronic Rate and Form Filing developed and implemented by the National Association of Insurance Commissioners. The measure also provides that such information is a public record, except for a consumer's personally identifiable information and any information determined by the Commissioner to constitute a trade secret, which are confidential. The bill requires any market analysis conducted by the Commissioner to determine compliance with the provisions of this bill. Amendments. Assemblymember Cole, in coordination with Adam Blaine, Division of Insurance, proposes the attached conceptual amendment to the bill page to delete Section 1, subsection 5, which provides any market analysis must be conducted in accordance with applicable standards set forth by the National Association of Insurance Commissioners. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ashton. Do we have any questions on Assembly Bill 207? Not seeing any, I will accept a motion to amend do pass Assembly Bill 207.
Motion to amend and do pass.
Thank you so much, Vice Chair. Do we have a second? I think that was a literal tie. We will give it to Senator Lang. And do we have any further discussion? Not seeing any. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Wonderful. This passes unanimously, and the motion passes unanimously for Assembly Bill 207, amend do pass, and I will assign the floor statement to Senator, does anyone want it actually? Okay. Senator Steinbeck. Wonderful. All right. And that will move us to the next item on our agenda this morning, which is Assembly Bill 319. Mr. Ashton, when you're ready, and thank you.
For the record, Patrick Ashton, Research Division, LCB. Assembly Bill 319, sponsored by Assemblyman Member Orndlicker, was heard on May 9th. This bill makes various changes governing physicians, physician assistants, practitioners of respiratory care, perfusionists, and medical assistants, including it authorizes persons who receive certain postgraduate medical education or training in the United Kingdom, Australia, or New Zealand, and other foreign countries whose standards for medical education licensing are determined by the Board of Medical Examiners to be substantially similar to those of the United States, to be treated identically to persons who receive their medical education in the United States or Canada for the purposes of satisfying certain requirements for licensure as they relate to postgraduate medical educational training. It revises provisions governing licensure by endorsement as a physician. It eliminates certain special and restricted licenses. It revises the name of a special purpose license to instead be called a telemedicine license. It increases from $5,000 to $10,000 the amount of an administrative fine the board can impose against an applicant for licensure for certain conflicting information relating to his or her application. It requires the screening of youth who are at least 12 years of age but not more than 18 years of age for certain health conditions when a routine physical examination is conducted. It authorizes a practitioner of respiratory care to perform certain laboratory tests without certification as an assistant in a medical laboratory under certain circumstances. It authorizes the board to adopt regulations that allow certain licensees to administer certain anesthesia under certain circumstances. It revises investigation procedures and grounds for discipline against the licensee of the board, provides certain reports of malpractice actions, claims, and settlements currently reportable to the board are public records, and revises the requirements for licensure as a perfusionist. Amendments. Assemblyman Orndlicker proposed the following amendment during the bill hearing to remove in Section 7, 68 and 72 the requirement to use the 14-point evaluation for heart disease in young people. Mr. Morales, Senior Policy Advisor of Brownstein, on behalf of the Northeastern Nevada Regional Hospital, proposes the following amendment, which authorizes CNAs in a hospital which is located in a city whose population is less than 25,000 under supervision of a licensed physician to prescribe, possess, and administer certain controlled substances and other medication for surgery before, during, and after childbirth. Ms. Bradley, Deputy Executive Director of the Board of Medical Examiners, proposes the attached conceptual amendment to the bill page. In summary, the amendment revises Section 30 by making a conforming change in the fee category for application for and issuance of certain licenses for $400 by revising the fee for a special purpose license to be instead called a telemedicine license and removing the fees for special and restricted licenses eliminated by the bill. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ashton. And I heard some discussion on this, so just in case there was any confusion, the amendment from Mr. Morales was the ELCO amendment that was presented. So, okay, of course. Yes, thank you all so much. And with that, do we have any questions on Assembly Bill 319? I don't see any. I will accept a motion to amend do pass Assembly Bill 319. Thank you so much. I have a motion from Senator Ellison to amend do pass Assembly Bill 319, a second from Senator Lang. Do we have any further discussion? Not seeing any. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. All right. This motion carries, and we have an amend do pass for Assembly Bill 319. And Senator Ellison, would you like to take the floor statement? Thank you. All right. You're very welcome. And with that, we have one more bill, I believe, that we can move forward on before the arrival of our final committee member, and that is Senate Bill 63. So with that, Mr. Ashton, whenever you're ready.
For the record, Patrick Ashton, Research Division, LCB. Senate Bill 63 was heard on May 2nd. It prohibits social media platforms from allowing a minor who is less than 13 years of age to use these platforms, and also requires platforms to obtain affirmative consent from the verified parent or legal guardian of a minor who is at least 13 years of age before allowing the minor to use the platform, with certain exceptions. A parent or legal guardian may revoke his or her consent at any time, and upon such a revocation, a social media platform must disable and delete a minor's account for which the consent has been revoked. Further, this bill prohibits a social media platform from using the personal information of a minor user in an algorithmic recommendation system and sending notifications to a minor user during certain times of the day, which are typically reserved for sleep or for school, and require such a platform to provide a mechanism for a verified parent or legal guardian to choose additional hours that prevent a minor user from accessing or receiving such notifications. This bill also requires the Department of Health and Human Services to adopt regulations establishing recommended practices relating to the age verification systems and obtaining the consent of a parent or legal guardian for a minor to use a social media platform. A social media platform adhering to those recommendations is deemed in compliance with the provisions set forth in Senate Bill 63. Finally, a violation of the bill's provisions is considered as deceptive trade practice. Amendments. Attorney General Ford proposes the attached conceptual amendment to the work session document. In summary, the amendment revises in Section 10 the definition of a social media platform to instead mean a digital platform which is a product, good, or service that is an online application, internet website, and etc., and excludes from this definition products, goods, or services that exclusively or nearly exclusively provide electronic mail, text message or teleconferencing or video conferencing under certain circumstances, cloud storage or cloud computing services, certain educational or instruction school materials, technical support for a product or service, employment search or career development networking activities, online shopping or e-commerce, application store, news, sports, media, entertainment, or other content that is pre-selected by the provider, communication between employers and employees, communication between a provider of healthcare and a patient, non-profit or not-for-profit organization, interactive gaming, and certain social gaming. Further, the amendment provides the definitions for cloud storage, electronic mail, provider of healthcare, licensee, affiliate, and social gaming. Item 2 deletes sections 13 through 17 relating to the age verification system and makes a conforming change in section 6 to remove references to the age verification system. Provides in section 18, subsection 2, that the provisions of this section shall not be construed to prohibit contextual information delivery or using algorithmic recommendation systems to prevent prohibited products or services to minors. It revises section 19 that a digital platform shall, upon request of a parent or legal guardian of a minor user, disable for that minor user one or more of the features pursuant to the section or section 20. Additionally, the amendment revises the following subsections in section 19 to add in subsection 1b that disabling infinite scrolling shall be limiting the amount of content shown to the lesser of 6 discrete items of content or 7 minutes of content shown, and add in subsection 2 that for the purposes of the section, content does not include content solely from an interactive video game. In section 20, the amendment removes subsections 2, 3, and 4, and modify subsection 1 that a digital platform must implement reasonable safeguards to limit the time spent on the digital platform, including a minor user's time of use and the hours of day in which notifications may be sent to a minor user, or if the digital platform does not implement such safeguards, or if a parent or legal guardian of a minor user makes a request pursuant to section 19, a digital platform is prohibited from sending notifications to a minor user between the hours of 12 a.m. and 6 a.m. based on the time zone in which the minor user is located, or between the hours of 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. Monday through Friday during the months of August through May based on the time zone in which the minor user is located. The amendment provides that the provisions of the section shall not be construed to prohibit notifications for internal operations to effectuate settings made by any minor's parent or legal guardian through user or parental controls or settings. It defines internal operations, adds certain provisions contained in Virginia's 2024 Consumer Data Protection Act to this bill. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ashton. It's a good thing we all love the sound of your voice. With that, do we have any questions on Senate Bill 63? I know that was a few amendments for you, so all right, Senator Rogish.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm going to vote yes out of the committee and reserve my right to change the vote on the floor. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Senator Scheibel?
I do have a question. I'm not sure who's best suited to answer this. There was obviously a lot of opposition at the time of the hearing. I understand that the parties have worked diligently to try to come to a consensus, and I'm wondering if we could get kind of an overview of who is now in support with the amendment, who is in neutral with the amendment, and who is still opposed.
Thank you so much. Attorney General or whoever would like to come up for that one. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Aaron Ford for the record. I am your Attorney General. Thank you so much, Direct. Senator Scheibel, thank you so much for the question. You are correct that there was a lot of dickering back and forth relative to the terms of this particular amendment. And at this juncture, I don't remember how many started out in opposition. There's more than a dozen or so. And none have moved to support. They're just neutral. And we are left with two businesses and then two industry groups that are still opposed.
Thank you so much. And to confirm, are Trevor Project and Silver State Equality now in neutral?
Aaron Ford for the record, yes, they are in neutral.
Okay, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming up. Did we have any other? Oh, Senator Ellison, did you have a question or did you want to make a statement? Okay.
A statement,
Just a
ma'am.
statement. Okay, thank you.
I just got this morning and all these amendments, and I'm trying to get through it and find out who's going to be held accountable one way or another. So I'm gonna vote
Senator
no.
Ellison, will you put your microphone on just so we can get this on the record? And I thank
It
you
was
so
on, I
much.
just forgot to
okay.
move it.
Thank you.
But like I said, I just got this morning with all the amendments. So I'm trying to find out who's going to be responsible and how they're going to track this and how they're going to handle this. It's a big undertaking. So I just got this. I'm going to vote no and reserve my rights and hoping I can get to this between now and floor. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And I feel certain that a member of the AG's office would be happy to answer any questions you have as well. Okay. With that, I will accept a motion to amend, do pass Senate Bill 63. So moved. Thank you so much. I have a motion to amend, do pass from Senator Lang. Do I have a second? A second from Vice Chair Daley. Do we have any further discussion? Senator Steinbeck.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I'm going to vote yes to pass it out of committee and reserve my right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. With that, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say nay. Note that we do have a nay from Senator Ellison, who has reserved his right. And we also have a yes from Senators Steinbeck and Rogish, who have also reserved their right. And I will assign the floor statement to Senator Lang. Wonderful. And with that, we will move to the next item on our agenda, sticking with the Attorney General's office, which is Assembly Bill 44.
For the record, Patrick Ashton, Research Division, LCB. Assembly Bill 44 includes the manipulation of the price of an essential good or service among the activities that constitute an unlawful contract, combination, or conspiracy in restraint of trade. Amendments. Senator Scheibel, in coordination with the Attorney General, proposes to amend the bill in Section 1 as follows. Provide that a price increase shall not constitute a deceptive or unfair trade practice unless it is shown by preponderance of the evidence that the seller intended to mislead consumers or engage in conduct with the purpose of manipulating the market to the detriment of the public, and set forth that nothing in the section prohibits a temporary reduction in the price of a good or service that is advertised as a promotion or sale and is time-limited, or conduct that is in compliance with the Deceptive Trade Practices Act. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ashton. And with that, do we have any questions on Assembly Bill 44? Okay, I don't see any questions. There may be discussion, but no questions. So with that, I will accept a motion to amend, do pass AB 44.
Motion to amend and do pass.
Thank you so much from our Vice Chair. A motion. Do we have a second? A second from Senator Scheibel. Do we have any discussion? Senator Steinbeck.
Yes, this one I'm voting no and also reserving my right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any further discussion? Okay, a ditto from Senator Ellison. All right. And with that, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say nay. Okay. Please note that we did receive a nay from Senator Steinbeck and Ellison with who reserved their right, and we also received a nay from Senator Rogish, and I am going to assign that floor statement to Senator Flores. Welcome. And with that, we are going to move on to the next item on our work session. Mr. Ashton, Assembly Bill 223. And thank you again.
For the record, Patrick Ashton, Research Division, LCB. Assembly Bill 223 revises provisions relating to the habitability of a rental property by a landlord. There were no amendments. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Well, that one was much quicker. All right. Do we have any questions on Assembly Bill 223? Okay. No questions. So with that, I will accept a motion to do pass Assembly Bill 223.
Motion to do pass Assembly Bill 223.
Second.
Thank you so much. We have a motion from our Vice Chair, a second from Senator Flores. Do we have any discussion? No discussion. So with that, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay.
Nay.
Okay. Please note that we do have a nay from Senators Rogish, Ellison, and Steinbeck. And I will assign, and the motion does carry, do pass. I will assign the floor statement to... All right, no one's making eye contact with me. So, okay. So Senator Scheibel, thank you so much. And with that, we are going to move to the next item on our agenda today, which is Assembly Bill 241. Mr. Ashton.
For the record, Patrick Ashton, Research Division, LCB. Assembly Bill 241 requires the governing body of each county and city to adopt an ordinance that authorizes by right a multifamily housing development or mixed-use development that includes a residential use on a property zoned for commercial use, not including industrial zoned property. Amendments. Members, this bill has 3 amendments attached to the work session document. The first 2 amendments were presented during the bill hearing, and I will only summarize the amendment submitted by Assemblymember Jauregui after the bill hearing, which revises Section 1, Subsection 1 by requiring each governing body to adopt the ordinance by March 1st instead of October 1st, 2026, and providing that each governing body may include certain standards in an ordinance that must be adhered to in order to qualify for by right approval pursuant to this measure. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ashton. Do we have any questions on Assembly Bill 241? Okay, I don't see any questions. I will accept a motion to amend to pass Assembly Bill 241.
So moved.
Thank you so much. We have a motion to amend to pass AB 241 from Senator Flores. Do I have a second? A second from Senator Daly. Is there any discussion? Senator Steinbeck.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I am going to vote yes to get this out of committee, or to pass this out of committee. I do feel like that this is still best left to the local jurisdictions, and I reserve my right to change in back on the floor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator Steinbeck. Do we have any further discussion, Senator Ellison?
Yes, ma'am. I went over this bill again, and I'm a no, and I'm not going to reserve my rights. I'm going to stand strong on this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. With that, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Okay. So I believe we have 1 nay from Senator Ellison, who is standing strong and will not be assigned that floor statement. However, I will assign it. You know what? I'll take the floor statement myself for Assembly Bill 241. And with that, that brings us, I believe, to the last item on our work session agenda today, which is Assembly Bill 434.
For the record, Patrick Ashton, Research Division, LCB. Assembly Bill 434 prohibits certain employment practices, and I will go straight to the amendments. Assemblymember Anderson proposes to amend Section 1, modeled after certain provisions set forth in Connecticut general statutes by revising subsection 1 that the primary purpose of the meeting or communication is to communicate the opinion of the employer regarding certain religious or political matters, and making certain clarifications in this section outlined in 2A through E on the bill page. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. Do we have any questions on Assembly Bill 434? All right. Seeing no questions, I'll accept a motion to amend to pass AB 434.
Motion to amend and do pass.
Thank you so much, Senator Daly. Do we have a second? A second from Senator Lang. Is there any further discussion on AB 434? All right. Not seeing any. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Okay. Please note that we have a nay from Senators Steinbeck, Rogish, and Ellison. And the motion does carry to amend to pass AB 434, and I will assign the floor statement to Senator Scheibel. And with that, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Ashton, I believe we've completed our work session today, which brings us to the final item on our agenda, which is public comment. If we have any members of the public that would like to make comment in person, by phone, or submit written public comment, we would love to hear what you'd like to share with us that's germane to commerce and labor. We ask that you state and spell your name for the record. And with that, is there anyone in Carson City? Not seeing anyone coming forward. I definitely don't see anyone in Las Vegas, since it appears to be an empty room this morning. But we'd love to welcome anyone online. Broadcast, is there anyone online who'd like to make public comments?
Chair, your public line is open and working, but you have no callers at this time.
Thank you so much. And with that, today we will adjourn, and Monday we will be canceled. So we look forward to seeing you next week, and we wish you all a wonderful deadline day to all who celebrate.